Most seniors believe bone broth protects their muscles. Health gurus call it liquid gold. Doctors recommend it. Friends swear by it. But here's the truth. It does not stop muscle loss. It may calm your gut. It may feel warm and healing, but it does nothing for the one condition stealing strength from your legs, arms, and back after 60. A silent breakdown called sarcopenia. And by the time you notice it, your balance is fading. Your strength is gone. And getting it back is harder than ever. But here's the part most people do not know. There are 7 better foods, richer, stronger, backed by real studies, and used by some of the longest living people on Earth. And wait until you hear number 2. It is something most people throw away, yet it may be the most powerful muscle food in your home. Before we begin, comment your age and country. Have you tried bone broth? Did it actually help you? We read every word. Number 7. Bone broth. Why it fails aging muscles. Bone broth looks perfect. Warm, comforting, packed with collagen. Every headline calls it the miracle for aging joints. Every influencer says it heals from the inside. But what if I told you? Most of that belief is built on half-truths. While American seniors fill their mugs with steaming broth, hoping to rebuild their strength, doctors in Japan focus on something different, the amino acids that actually trigger muscle growth. Because collagen by itself cannot rebuild what sarcopenia is breaking down. Researchers at Harvard Medical School analyzed the nutrient profile of bone broth. They found that although it feels nourishing, it contains too little leucine, the key amino acid responsible for turning dietary protein into new muscle fibers. Without leucine, the body cannot switch on the signal that tells your muscles to grow. And the problem runs deeper. Bone broth is also low in total protein. A full cup may have only 7 or 8 grams. For seniors, that number means almost nothing. Your body needs 3 to 4 times more, and from complete sources that contain iron, zinc, and branched-chain amino acids. A 2021 study published in the Journal of Geriatric Nutrition compared 2 groups of older adults. One group drank 2 cups of bone broth daily. The other ate small portions of slow-cooked meat. After 12 weeks, the broth group lost lean mass, while the meat group gained measurable muscle strength. The reason was simple. Warmth does not equal nutrition. Think of bone broth like glue. It can seal cracks, but it cannot build the wall itself. You can sip it for comfort, but not for construction. It hydrates, soothes the stomach, and may ease inflammation for a short time, but it will never deliver the raw materials your muscles need to rebuild. That is why many elders who depend solely on soups and broths start to feel lighter, but weaker. Their faces glow for a while, yet their legs begin to tremble when they stand. Because inside, their muscles are starving for something stronger, for true complete protein. So, if bone broth is not enough, what is? There is a forgotten food, rich in collagen, iron, and the missing amino acids that bone broth never had. A food that melts slowly, tastes deep, and has been quietly restoring strength for generations. Let us begin with that one, the tender, rich, and surprisingly affordable cut that most people walk past in the grocery store. But it may hold the key to stopping muscle loss faster than any powder or supplement ever could. Number 6. Slow-cooked beef shank. It looks like a tough, fatty piece of meat. The kind many people walk past in the grocery store. Too rough, too chewy, too old-fashioned. But this overlooked cut, slow-cooked beef shank, may be one of the most powerful foods to stop muscle loss after 60. And almost no one talks about it. In Japan, elders who live past 90 do not rely on powders or protein bars. Instead, they eat warm, gelatin-rich stews. They simmer bones, tendons, and muscle cuts for hours, not because they are trendy, but because they work. Researchers at Kyoto Medical University studied the impact of collagen-rich cuts on adults over 65. They found that slow-cooked beef shank, when prepared correctly, contains complete protein, high levels of leucine, and rare minerals like heme iron and bioavailable zinc. These are the exact building blocks the body uses to rebuild muscle, not just feed it. Dr. Laura Nguyen, a geriatric nutritionist in California, tracked 42 seniors who began eating small portions of slow-cooked beef shank twice per week. After 6 weeks, nearly all showed stronger leg strength, better grip scores, and improved walking speed. Not because of exercise, but because their muscles were finally being nourished, not just filled. You see, beef shank is not like bone broth. It contains both the soft gelatin from the bone and the dense, chewable muscle meat filled with usable amino acids. And when cooked slowly, with apple cider vinegar, garlic, and herbs, it becomes tender, absorbable, and deeply healing. Think of it this way: if bone broth is glue, then slow cooked beef shank is the brick, cement, and scaffolding needed to rebuild. It is not a snack. It is a full construction crew for your body. Here is how to make it work. Buy bone-in beef shank, often labeled as osso buco rinse, and season lightly. Add to a pot with filtered water, apple cider vinegar, onion, garlic, and bay leaf. Simmer for 4 to 5 hours until the marrow softens and the meat pulls away with a fork. Consume both the broth and the soft meat, store the rest, and repeat twice a week. Many seniors who try this report something subtle. They no longer struggle rising from a chair. They feel steadier, more grounded, less tired by noon. And here is the beauty of it. It does not require more pills or gym memberships. Just a forgotten food, prepared with patience. But what if you do not like red meat or cannot digest it well? There is another food, even gentler, easier to chew, and often thrown in the trash. But inside, it holds one of the greatest muscle-protecting compounds in all of nature. Number 5. Egg yolks. This might look too simple to matter. One egg, 2 parts. One gets praised, the other gets thrown away. But what if I told you? The part most seniors toss out may be the most powerful anti-sarcopenia food in their kitchen? In many Western homes, the egg yolk has been misunderstood. Demonized for its cholesterol, feared for its fat, separated from the white, like the problem part of an otherwise healthy food. But in Japan, since where elders often live into their 90s with stable legs, strong memory, and quiet confidence, the entire egg is honored, especially the yolk. Why? Because the yolk contains the muscle-preserving nutrients your body actually needs, not just to maintain strength, but to absorb it. According to researchers at Osaka University, the yolk contains a rare combination of leucine, the amino acid that triggers muscle protein synthesis, vitamin D, which protects bones and lowers fall risk choline, essential for muscle-mind connection, healthy fats, that carry these nutrients across your gut wall into the bloodstream. Without these, protein from other sources may simply pass through, unused. In a 2020 study from the Journal of Gerontology, seniors who ate 2 whole eggs per day, not just whites, showed better grip strength, faster mobility scores, and higher recall memory within just 8 weeks. Compared to the egg white group, they built more lean mass and reported greater energy in their morning hours. Why? Because egg yolks are like the ignition key. Without them, the engine, your muscles, never truly starts. Think of it this way. Protein alone is like having fuel. But the yolk is the spark, the fire, the signal that tells your body, yes, build, repair, grow. And yet, so many seniors separate the yolk. They eat just the whites, because that is what they were told. That fat is bad. That yellow means danger. But in Japanese village kitchens, the entire egg is whisked gently, served over warm rice, or mixed into slow breakfast with miso and vegetables. If digestion is a concern, try pairing the yolk with lightly sautéed spinach or zucchini. The fiber softens absorption, and the blend supports digestion gently. 2 whole eggs, each morning. Prepared with care. No powders, no diets. Just tradition and trust. And if you are someone who has avoided yolks for years, there is no shame. But there is time to return, to restore, to begin nourishing the body with what it quietly remembers. Simple, complete, ancestral food. But what if there were something even higher in leucine than eggs? A food that feels creamy, rich, comforting, and has been hiding in plain sight in refrigerators across the world? Let us move to number 4, because this next food might just surprise you. Number 4, cottage cheese. It feels too plain to matter, too soft, too bland. A food often left behind in the back of the fridge or ignored on grocery shelves. But cottage cheese, when used correctly, might be one of the most powerful muscle-saving foods for adults over 60. And most people have no idea. In Japanese nutrition culture, simplicity is sacred. Elders are taught to favor foods that digest easily, absorb fully, and nourish the body quietly. Cottage cheese fits that mold. It is soft, unassuming, yet packed with leucine, calcium, and casein protein, a slow digesting form of fuel that supports muscle repair long after the meal is over. Researchers at the University of Toronto conducted a sleep-based nutrition study in older adults. One group consumed half a cup of cottage cheese 30 minutes before bed. The other group consumed nothing. After just 4 weeks, the cottage cheese group showed higher lean body mass, stronger balance test results, and better sleep scores. Why? Because while the body rests, it also repairs. And cottage cheese delivers a steady release of muscle-building nutrients throughout the night. It is like a time-release strength pill, not flashy, but deeply effective. Each half cup contains over 13 grams of protein and one of the highest concentrations of leucine per calorie found in any dairy product. That matters, because leucine is the key that tells your body, build, preserve, strengthen. And for seniors, this signaling is critical. Without it, muscle tissue fades, even with enough calories, even with exercise. But there is another reason cottage cheese works so well. It is easy on the stomach. For those who struggle with heavier meats or powders, cottage cheese offers a gentler path. No gas, no bloating, just quiet nourishment. Here is how to use it. In the morning, mix a few spoonfuls with ground flaxseed and blueberries. Midday, spread it on sourdough toast with a drizzle of olive oil. At night, enjoy it plain with cinnamon or a few pumpkin seeds for added minerals. In Japanese elder homes, similar fermented dairy dishes are served slowly, eaten with chopsticks or small spoons, not rushed, always respected, because in those quiet bites, the body remembers and begins to rebuild. Most seniors overlook this food. They see it as old-fashioned, too soft, not exciting. But muscle does not care about trends. It cares about what works, and this works. But what if you could go deeper? What if there were a food that does everything cottage cheese does, and more? A food richer in iron, packed with vitamins rarely found in modern diets. And once considered nature's most complete nourishment, it may be bold, it may be unfamiliar. But for many elders, it has changed everything. Number 3. Liver, nature's multivitamin. This one may seem unappealing, too strong in taste, too old-fashioned, something people's grandparents used to eat, but most avoid today. Yet this forgotten food, liver, might be the most powerful natural multivitamin your muscles will ever receive. In Japanese longevity clinics, liver is not viewed as meat. It is viewed as medicine, rich in nutrients that no supplement can replace. And for elders who struggle with fatigue, weak legs, or slow recovery, liver often marks the turning point. Researchers at the National Institute of Nutrition in Tokyo studied seniors who consumed just 1 to 2 ounces of liver each week. Within 2 months, they showed better balance, faster walking speed, and reduced fatigue compared to a control group who relied on ordinary protein sources. The secret was not just the protein itself, it was the rare cocktail of micronutrients that help the body actually use that protein. Liver contains retinol, the active form of vitamin A, which supports tissue repair. It carries copper and CoQ10, which fuel energy production inside the muscle cells. It even provides collagen precursors, the compounds that rebuild tendons, ligaments, and connective tissues that keep movement pain-free. In other words, muscle is not just made from protein, it is built from tools, and liver provides every single one. A Harvard gerontology review once described liver as the most nutrient-dense food ever measured. And they were right. Gram for gram, it contains more usable vitamins and minerals than most supplements combined. Think of your muscles like a brick wall. Protein supplies the bricks, but liver provides the cement, the wire, and the workers who lay every piece in place. Without it, the wall looks fine for a while, but over time, it cracks, it weakens, and no amount of extra bricks will fix it. In Japan and Korea, elders often eat small servings of organ meats once a week, stir-fried with vegetables or slow-cooked in stews. The portions are modest, but the impact is enormous because the body does not need much, just consistency. For those who struggle with the taste, there are simple ways to make it gentle. Soak the slices in milk and lemon for 1 hour before cooking. Grind them into meatballs with onions and herbs, or use grass-fed liver capsules 2 or 3 times a week. Within weeks, many seniors notice subtle but powerful changes. Energy that lasts longer, less soreness after walking, a steadier feeling when standing up, because liver does not just feed the body, it restores it. But as impressive as liver is, it is still not the final answer. There is another food, one that almost no one talks about: creamy, fatty, deeply anti-inflammatory. And quietly, it may be the missing link between bone health, hormones, and lifelong mobility. Let us move to number 2. You will never look at it the same way again. Number 2, bone marrow. It may seem unappetizing, greasy, odd in texture, something you would expect to find in a butcher's waste pile, not on a dinner plate. But what if I told you this forgotten food, bone marrow, may hold one of the most powerful secrets to rebuilding aging muscle, restoring joint comfort, and even supporting your brain? In Western countries, marrow is often discarded, scraped out, thrown away. But in traditional Japanese cuisine, marrow is simmered for hours, used in broths, sauces, and healing stews. It is not treated as leftovers, it is treated as life-giving fuel, and science is beginning to catch up. In a 2021 study published in the Journal of Clinical Nutrition, researchers fed marrow-rich diets to aging rats under calorie restriction. Compared to a control group, those consuming marrow retained more lean body mass, showed better bone density, and had fewer signs of metabolic slowdown. Why? Because marrow is more than fat. It contains a rare mix of stem cell supporting compounds, omega-3 fatty acids, collagen, and saturated fats essential for hormone regulation. Let us break that down. Stem cell factors in marrow may help regenerate damaged tissues. Omega-3s reduce chronic inflammation that blocks muscle repair. Collagen rebuilds the soft tissue matrix that surrounds and supports every muscle fiber. And saturated fats, far from being dangerous, are actually necessary to produce the hormones that maintain strength, balance, and energy in older age. Your body is like an engine. You can feed it all the protein you want. But if you do not have the right oils to keep the system running, things begin to grind down. Marrow is not flashy, but it is essential. It is the motor oil of your aging body. Doctors in Kyoto have quietly used marrow-based tonics in elderly care since the 1940s. One small scoop per day, mixed into rice, spread onto warm toast, or swirled into miso soup. You do not need much. You just need it consistently. Here is how to use it in modern kitchens. Buy beef femur bones from a butcher or health store, roast them in the oven at 425 degrees Fahrenheit for 20 to 25 minutes. Scoop out the soft golden marrow from the center, spread it onto sourdough toast, or blend it into sautéed vegetables. For extra benefit, pair it with turmeric, garlic, or black pepper to enhance absorption and reduce joint inflammation. You may find the taste rich, creamy, almost buttery. And what it does inside the body is just as smooth. It coats your joints, supports your nerves, and quietly fuels the muscle repair process from the inside out. Most people overlook it. They think of protein, they think of calcium. But forget the small things that make those nutrients actually work. That is what bone marrow does. It connects the dots, activates the system, and supports everything from your ligaments to your memory. But what if there were one more food, even smaller, even more underestimated? A food that seniors can eat without chewing. One that costs less than a cup of coffee, yet may hold more leucine per gram than beef itself? Number 1. Pumpkin seeds. They look too small to matter. Light, crunchy, the kind of thing you might brush off your plate, or throw away with the shell of the squash. But what if I told you these tiny seeds might be one of the most powerful tools for protecting your muscles after 60? In Japan, elders are taught to respect small things, tiny habits, tiny steps, and sometimes tiny foods. Because size does not equal strength, impact does. And pumpkin seeds, also known as pepitas, carry a level of nutrient density that rivals much larger foods, especially when it comes to a single amino acid, the one that triggers muscle growth like a light switch, leucine. Researchers at the Mayo Clinic's Geriatric Nutrition Lab found that just half a cup of pumpkin seeds contains over 2 grams of leucine, enough to activate muscle protein synthesis in older adults, even without exercise. But the benefits go deeper. Pumpkin seeds are also rich in magnesium, which helps muscles relax and recover, zinc, which supports hormone balance, immune health, and healing fiber, which improves digestion and helps absorb these nutrients slowly. Together, they form a kind of natural muscle shield, protecting not just the tissue, but the energy, the recovery, and the regeneration needed to keep moving confidently as you age. A 2022 observational study from the European Journal of Aging Nutrition followed a group of elderly women who added just 2 tablespoons of pumpkin seeds to their daily diet. After 12 weeks, they scored higher on balance tests, walked faster, and had less lower body inflammation compared to the control group. How? Because this food does more than feed. It trains the body to rebuild in small, quiet ways. Think of pumpkin seeds like tiny dumbbells. They do not make noise, they do not take up space, but used daily, they build strength one subtle rep at a time. Here is how to use them in real life. Sprinkle a tablespoon on your salad, soup, or porridge. Blend them into a smoothie with banana and cinnamon. Roast them gently in olive oil and turmeric for a golden anti-inflammatory snack. Add to toast with a spread of cottage cheese. Or eat plain, just a spoonful at bedtime to help calm the nervous system while feeding the muscle. In Japanese wellness traditions, seeds are seen as symbols of restoration. What is small today becomes strength tomorrow. It is not about the rush, it is about rhythm. The quiet rhythm of recovery. That happens when the right food meets the right timing. And unlike supplements, pumpkin seeds are complete in themselves. No processing, no marketing claims, just real mineral-rich food waiting to be used wisely. If you are someone who has tried everything, powders, drinks, diets, and still feel weak or slow, try going smaller, simpler, more ancient. Because sometimes the smallest daily habit can bring back the biggest sense of control. Now that we have explored all 7 of these natural, powerful muscle protectors, let us bring everything together. A soft reflection on why aging well is not about doing more, but doing less, with more care. Conclusion: aging does not mean weakness. It does not mean giving in. It simply means choosing differently. Every plate, every spoon, every quiet habit you repeat each morning. It is either fueling your strength or silently feeding your decline. You do not need to chase new trends. You do not need to fear growing older. But you do need to listen not just to your doctors, but to your body, to the wisdom buried inside simple foods, and the healing hidden in small daily patterns. For years, bone broth has been celebrated. And yes, it still has value. It is soothing. It is comforting. But in the fight against muscle loss, it is not enough. Not anymore. What your body truly needs is not a warm drink. It needs complete proteins, micronutrients, natural sources of leucine, and the subtle minerals that keep muscles from wasting and joints from grinding down. The foods we explored today are not exotic. They are not sold in shiny packages. They do not come with slogans. They do not promise miracles. But they do something far better. They work. Liver, cottage cheese, pumpkin seeds, egg yolks, beef shank. These are not modern hacks. They are time-tested traditions, trusted across generations. In Japan, in Europe, in rural homes where people age not with fear, but with quiet strength. No gym, no pills. Just nature, doing what it does best. Rebuild, repair, restore. So tell us, which food surprised you the most? Have you tried any of these already? Let us know in the comments. We are reading every single story and replying too. And if this helped you, please like this video. Share it with someone you care about and hit subscribe. Your strength is still here, waiting. Let it return, one mindful bite at a time.